penis.
It hit the table?
Yeah.
Oh,
It sags down.
All right, so we're just going to talk until people show up.
Sounds good. It's my favorite thing to do.
So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and film this for the Milo Beasley Show. You ready?
I'm ready.
This is the Milo Beasley Show. This is the Milo Beasley Show. There's only one thing you need to know. This is the Milo Beasley Show. And now, here's your host, Milo Beasley.
And welcome to the Milo Beasley Show. We are hanging out here at GalaxyCon Minneapolis.
Yeah, we're hanging everything out.
It is my first time actually in the city. Well, second time. I did like a drive-by at the Mall of America in like 2003.
You mean you stopped by the Mall of America?
Yes, I didn't actually do a drive-by.
Yeah, you gotta clarify.
I'm not incriminating myself. Speaking of drive-bys.
That sounds like a
Beast. So is this your first time up here?
Yes, this is my first time in Minneapolis,
There's a
and
live mic behind you.
also my first time on the Milo Beasley Show. So.
Yeah, so I finally get to get you on here. Like, we're like 270 something episodes now. It's
Took
crazy.
long enough.
Yeah. So I am unwrapping bananas.
I had a nickel for every time.
If you had a nickel for every time you had to unwrap your banana.
I mean,
All right, so let me go ahead and introduce my guest at this time. Sitting to my left, Aron Agony. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I can't wait. Yes. Cheese
Sandwiches.
wrap.
Like it's like catering on the Milo Beasley
Yeah,
Show.
Milo Beasley Show is catered now, which I'm glad I was a part of.
Yeah. So this is your first time up here,
Yeah.
and have you ever been up like where it's super stupid cold?
I'm born and raised in Florida.
Right. Oh, so you too. So you and me are the guys.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very cold. And by cold, I mean like colder than my AC unit in the house.
Right. No, it's like when I landed, it was 19 degrees.
Yeah, it's a cool change of pace. Don't get me wrong, but it's really cold.
It's not snowing.
I wish it was.
I think tomorrow. I think there's like a 40% chance of like frozen mix.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. Do you know what that means? Are you from around here? What does frozen mix mean? It means don't drive, essentially, right? It means so
snow.
frozen mix means snow.
Okay.
on Wednesday.
It snowed on Wednesday. Oh, I got in on Wednesday, but I didn't see snow.
If I came all this way and dealt with this cold and didn't see snow,
That's
I'm gonna be upset.
so,
about it.
so that's what my whole thing was. They're like, oh well, it's going to be cold but not snow, and I feel ripped off.
Yeah.
I feel ripped off that it's going to be 19 degrees and I don't get to make GD snow angels.
If I can't hit Beast in the face with at least one snowball, this whole trip will be a waste.
I think we could probably listen. If I have to go to the ice machine at the hotel and make a snowball so you can hit Beast in the face with it,
Yeah,
I think I'm good with that.
Sounds fair to me.
Make him take off his coat.
Hi,
Did you invite this guy?
this guy?
I didn't,
This guy over here?
but you know.
She said make him take off his coat, but I think she was talking to Beast.
Oh, I think she was.
Hi,
Now you'd have to scalp him.
I am here with the run-in,
Or the sit-in.
the sit-in.
The sit-in. So how long have you been actually wrestling?
About 8 years,
About 8 years now?
ish. Yes.
And within like your first year, you won like a major heavyweight championship.
Well, you know, what I'm saying.
A heavyweight championship at
a
that.
heavyweight championship, and I'm not a heavyweight, so.
Says who?
Well,
Listen, it's 2019. Milo Beasley is a heavyweight now.
if we weigh me below the belt, I think I would have passed the weight limit. But no. I was about a year, maybe like 8 months in the business, and Tommy Vandal, at the time, was a big part of running FOW, Future Wrestling in South Florida. He saw something in me. I don't know what to this day, but no. I was a small guy who could do flips and stuff.
Flippy stuff, yeah.
Flippy
I know all
things,
about that.
which
That's
now
about
is
2002.
Yeah,
That was
right.
me.
So at the time, it was the locker room was full of just big guys, and they looked at me as just a guy who did flips. You know what I mean? So, but Tommy was like, "Well, this is a guy I can have some cool matches with," and that's what we did. I mean, we wrestled like 12 times.
And then you stole all of Beast's moveset, the shooting star, the 450.
Yeah, all of those things.
So now Beast was left with nothing.
Yeah, but I mean it's Beast,
Still.
so But yeah, so and then I ended up winning the FSCW heavyweight title, which was cool. Kurt Hennig held that belt.
Yes.
You know, a bunch of others, which was really awesome. And you know, it was cool because it pissed off a lot of people because there were people in FOW for years that never won that belt.
Like, I almost held that belt. Like I held it for like, it was like 30 seconds, and then they like reversed the decision.
The decision.
And it was like another ref came out and was like, no. I was like, son of a.
Right. So, I mean, it was kind of a double-edged sword because on the one end, it made a lot of people mad, but on the other hand, it kind of proved, or Tommy helped me prove what I'm worth and like what I'm made of. You know what I mean? So, I'm extremely thankful for FOW and that my time there and stuff like that.
I held that belt.
Like,
And then I gave it to him,
And then
and
you
his
brought it
bags, and I took his bags in.
You know, I let the kid
When I
do
was
the
a
job.
young
you know?
boy.
oh, there's a bunch of people. They should come over here and sit down and listen to us.
Hey
talk.
guys, come have fun!
So yes, and then how long have you been with the Galaxy Super conventions?
I started originally the first time I ever wrestled for at the time was SuperCon, and I wrestled as Robin from Batman and Robin, and that was a lot of fun. Although wrestling with a cape is a lot harder than you think it would
Yeah,
be.
well, Edna Mode says no capes.
Yeah, no capes. Then I started wrestling as Link.
Oh, the wrestling? The wrestling starts at 6:45. You want to say hi to people at home that are watching this? No?
No. Okay.
Don't worry, there's just as many people watching this as there are in this vicinity right here, so it's all good. Nobody saw you.
The run-in.
Yeah, we actually had a run-in as opposed to a sit-in.
Yeah. I got to wrestle as Link from Legend of Zelda, and that was a ton of fun because I had been playing that game since I was like 12, so that was cool. And it was a character I knew a lot about, so it was easy to get into character. You know what I mean?
And now you portray Junkrat.
Yeah, I portray Junkrat from Overwatch, which is a men's challenge.
Are you an Overwatch fan?
I am, actually. So, funny story, my girlfriend, Harley Zilchak, which I'm sure at some point you've seen.
Yeah, she was supposed to be here and like talk to me and be on the show, but she's over at her booth like selling stuff and making money.
Yeah, you know, just being famous.
what a-
Yeah, you.
She wanted me to just do a Junkrat costume.
Okay.
And I'm the kind of person where if I'm gonna portray a character, even at a convention, like I like to know the character. I don't go, who are you? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I like to be able to answer questions and stuff like that. So when she asked me to do it, I'm like, well, I got to learn the character first. So I bought the game and I gravitated towards Junkrat. And at the time they had like 20 characters to play from, and I tried them all once, and I'm like, yeah, this is my guy. So I feel like she picked the character. Overall, she's the reason why I became Junkrat. When they brought FSCW in, they wanted me to, you know, because I had been Link for like 3 years.
Right.
I held the belt, and we did all this really cool stuff. So it was kind of like, well, where do I go from here as Link? And so they asked me who I wanted to be, and I was like, well, Junkrat, that would be really awesome. Little did I know how difficult it would be to hold the Australian accent through an entire 12-minute match, which is a lot harder than I think it would be. The first time I did it, the first weekend I did it, I could only hold the accent for like the first half of the match. And then I would break it and not notice that I break it, so I look at the fans like, yeah, come on! And they look at me like, what happened to your accent?
I don't do accents. He does accents. Beast does some great accents.
I like different things.
I mean, there you go. I mean,
That's my favorite. Like I try to hang with him, and then I don't like. It just turns into like I think it turns into Australian.
Oh,
It's like
poppycock.
Russian, that's British.
Oh, quite right, quite right.
All right.
I like your
So-
hair, I like your hair back there. I used to have hair.
You did. You used to have really long hair.
Yeah. And I did Vega, which
Yeah.
was super cool because I got to
Vega.
I had to hide my dumb face, but still accentuate the beautiful locks.
Yeah. And then now, as Peter B. Parker, you get to show your dumb face.
Yes, and now I get to show my dumb face as
With
Peter
pizza.
Yes, and I get to eat pizza during the wrestling, and I get to like don't do anything.
Yeah. It was like, I'm tired.
Yes, I'm tired. But you have to you're like Junkrat is all over the place.
Yeah, which is kind of how I wrestle anyway, so
Right.
it translates well, you know what I mean? But it's definitely a challenge. I wrestle with a robotic arm and a leg, and so Junkrat doesn't have a leg. He's missing his right. Surprisingly,
we
he
can,
blew it off, you know. So So we can't really chop my leg off.
I mean, we could.
We could, but I'd rather not.
No, God.
I just got health insurance, guys. Come on.
Oh, so they'll take care
What?
of it. Yeah. So then, but
What
and
is
then-
that?
And then through this, oh, is that the guy back there? Yeah, I was like, I wonder how this is going to pick up.
I thought someone was tightening the ropes for a second.
But through this and through FSCW and you know, through Junkrat, you became good friends with one of our like, what is he? He's not he's color, I guess. He's color, right?
Yeah.
The color commentator, Josh Petersdorf.
Yeah, the voice actor of Roadhog, which is the first day I met him, he and I just clicked. You know what I mean? He's from California, and I have a very California personality, or so I'm told. I've literally been told that. That's why I'm saying that right now. So he and I were. They brought him in just to manage me. At the time, it was just me as Junkrat, and I had the Roadhog as my manager for the match. It was just like really, really cool because at the time I was a big fan of the game. Oh, I mean, I'm still a big fan of the game, but when it happened, you know, I was like, wow, this is a really cool guy. And then, well, he wanted to do as much as possible because he's a humongous wrestling fan. So at first it was like, the first night he was like, oh, I'm just gonna be out there with you. And the second night he's like, man, I want to take some moves. So then, I mean, by the end of the weekend, he's taking super kicks and like all of this stuff, and it was a ton of fun. And the coolest thing about it though was hearing him say like he loved how I translated Junkrat into professional wrestling, because there's a move called the Rolling Thunder, which Rob Van Dam does, and he kind of just does a roll and lands on the person's. And to me, that's kind of like how I translate his rip tire. In the game, he cranks a tire and it rolls and then it explodes. So I try my best to like translate the character into the ring, which, I mean, some characters are easier to do than others. But to see that he picked up on that without us talking about it, he was like, oh, this is really cool how you do this and you do that. And that made me feel amazing, not just because of who he was, but because, I mean, he knows his stuff. And then he was able to notice little things like that I slipped into it. So because of that, I mean, we just started talking wrestling, and now, I mean, we text each other every other day, which is a little weird, but also really, really cool. He's probably like, honestly, one of the coolest celebrities that I've had to meet. Like, I've had the privilege to meet.
Yeah, so how many, like, has there, like, who's the, two questions, who's the biggest celebrity that you've met, and you've been like, oh my God, and then who's been like, that surprised you, that was super down to earth?
With Josh aside, as far as biggest celebrity, man, there's been so many, like Sergeant Slaughter. I've never met The Rock. I mean, Sergeant Slaughter, Hacksaw Jim Duggan was really, really cool. Who else, man? Like we had Rita and the late Lord Zed. He was very nice. We've had so many people. It's kind of hard. Like, now that I think about it, it's kind of hard. It's been kind of like a revolving door of celebrities as far as FSCW goes, you know. But the most down earth. We had Austin St. John, the Red Ranger. He managed me at the time, Green Arrow. I was Link, Green Arrow, and we had the Hurricane, Shane Helms. And I would have to say the most down-to-earth person is probably him.
Okay, cool.
We got to tag a lot together, so I got to pick his brain a little bit.
Awesome.
Because in the wrestling business, like, people come and go, like celebrities come and go, and names come and go, but you don't really get to interact with them as much. I mean, you can try, and sometimes be like, hey, did you see my match? And they're like, yeah, you did great. And then they got there 15 minutes after your match started, so you're like, you didn't even get to see it, you know what I mean? But, in the wrestling business, you get a lot of people who they want to be friendly, but they also don't want to, you know, be a jerk or anything like that, so they kind of just, you know, like, pat you on the back, you know? But because, this is the first time Beast has ever patted me on the back, but because I got to tag with Shane and he was in my matches, I was able to pick his brain and ask him questions and stuff like that. So he was very humble and down to earth about it and stuff. So and then also, I'd like to mention Booker T also was a guy that we brought in for panels, and I was able to pick his brain a little bit too. He was very, very humble, very nice.
So as you know, a thing we like to do on the Milo Beasley Show is called the Top 5, where I ask a random question. You give me an answer in no particular order.
Okay.
But since we have Beast back here, Beast, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh no, please don't.
Come up with a top 5 question for our guest, Aron Agony.
Oh, right now.
Yes, right now.
Oh.
Yes, as in on the spot. That's what that means. I'm going to ask you a question, and you in turn ask him a question. So, what top 5 do you want to ask Aron Agony?
Top 5 flips.
Top 5 flips.
Top, like
Just in general, just that I can do, that I've seen.
People name
Yes.
flip.
yes, people name flip. I know one.
Flipboard.
That's it.
Flipsy. From,
Oh, flip. Oh yeah, flip flop. Flip flop.
Flip Flop Anonymous. No, so like what? Like my favorite
Okay,
moves?
Yes, moves. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay,
Top
what do
5
you-
flip moves.
Okay,
go.
flip moves. All right, well, first is a shooting star press. It's my finishing move. It's one of my favorite and least favorite moves to do. Not only does it destroy my knees every single time, but I'm terrified of heights. And people think that I'm not because of the things that I do, but I definitely am.
Right there with you.
It's kind of one of those nut up or shut up things. I just go up there and don't have time to think about it, and I just get it done. And thankfully, I've not hurt myself. Well, maybe. I did a
It's the same conversation
this is
that Ty and I had right before he almost died. So,
one show I did a shooting star to a really low ceiling, and the guy was supposed to move out of the way. So when I landed tucked, I didn't untuck, which is what you brace for impact, and I was out for like 8 months
Fantastic.
on injury because of that. So I can't say it's never hurt, but I didn't hurt. Well, I was gonna say I haven't hurt anybody
Did you
else.
say still won?
But still won. No, actually we lost.
No, I mean, you're still on one flip.
Yeah. Oh, still on one flip. Yeah, I can talk for hours. So the shooting star would probably be one. I like to do moonsaults to the outside, which is where you just do a backflip onto a person. That's fun. I like to do a move called the moonsault senton, which is the person's laying on the ground and you do a backflip and land on your back on their chest, which is incredibly hard to do. Which is why I don't do it as much anymore.
so how many is that?
I think that's 2.5.
That's
You
3.
said senton.
I said moonsault,
Well, no, it's still a flip.
and then
It's a
moonsault
moonsault
senton.
into it, yeah.
It's a different move.
It's a different move.
Okay.
So then number 4 would be the Phoenix Splash, which I like
Okay.
to do from the middle rope, and that's like a corkscrew 450. Can I do another flip?
Well, let me ask the Rolling Thunder is.
I guess it's technically a front flip,
Yep.
yeah, right?
Yes.
Well, let's just say my number 4 will be a flip I don't like, and that's 450 splashes.
Yep.
I don't do front flips. I don't.
So you'll do it as a Phoenix.
Well, it's a corkscrew front flip, so I justified it by a little bit to myself.
Wait, so was that 4 or 5? I think
That was 4, and 5 was the flip I don't like to do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because to me, going forward, there's so much neck injury,
So much
room for error, so much neck.
There you
So, all right. So before we wrap up, where can folks find you on the social medias? Now, when I say wrap up, we're just wrapping up the taped episode. We're gonna keep chatting and stuff like that. But so where can folks find you on the?
I am on Facebook, Aaron McCoy by my real name. Also, I have a like page, the Agony. And
You're not on the Twitters or the Instas?
I'm not on Twitter.
So let's.
I'm on Instagram,
Let's
the
plug,
Agony.
let's plug the Harley Love Shack.
Okay, yeah, Harley's Love Shack on Facebook, and I don't know if she has.
I think it's on the
Twitter.
Insta, right?
Instagram, she's on.
Yeah, it's on the Insta.
But yeah, I
Beast,
don't
what
use
is
Twitter.
yours?
I thought he was gonna pull up his own Instagram just because he didn't know what the name of it is.
You know what? I'm drawing. It's that beastly mess.
That Beastly Mess for this month.
Jesus, if anybody ever knew, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And of course, if you don't already follow me, please do so at The Wrestling Bum, all one word, on all the socials. And please catch up on our YouTubes on 276, 77, 78 previous episodes. Beast is on a couple. We actually did one at the Raleigh where we had people commit crimes. I think that'll be fun. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that now. We'll turn off the camera so we don't get implicated.
Okay. That sounds
So
good.
thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yay!
Here's what's gonna happen. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody to come up here and give me $1 to read their fortune. I don't think you would be going to jail. I think I am actually committing the act of felonious activities here.